Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. It's Scooby-Doo Tuesday. You know what that means, guys. Of course it means we're here continuing the journey of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This is Season 1, Episode 11, titled The Secret Serum. Interesting. The Secret Serum. So last week's episode, I believe was titled Howl of the Fright Hound. I believe that was the title. Had this kid named Jason. He was a loner, didn't have a lot of friends. He was head over heels for Velma. She rejected him. And so his mom took revenge essentially by making a Terminator robotic evil version of Scooby-Doo, trying to frame Scooby-Doo so that Shaggy would leave Velma and not be with her anymore so Velma can be with her son. She went a little too crazy. But in the midst of all of this, the mystery behind the scenes, being kind of getting glimpses of it, of Crystal Cove, the original Mystery Incorporated, got a little bit further, more development, more information, because this animal prison where Scooby was taken to, because of course, like I said, he was being framed for this evil robotic Terminator-style Scooby that was going around Crystal Cove. There was the parrot, the animal, a part of the original Mystery Incorporated, in this high security section of the prison. Professor Pericles, I have to say that slow so I don't mispronounce it, Professor Pericles, and he gave some information, little details, some little, little hints. But then, of course, he escaped, and Mr. E, right after Shaggy horribly tells Velma that he just wants to be friends with her, finally making a decision, he has been asked, and we've been waiting for an answer in regards to choose Scooby or Velma, which one are you going to pick? And after that, Velma, of course, is really upset. She gets a text from Mr. E, follow the parrot, after they find out that Professor Pericles is now gone. So the mystery is there. So I'm excited to learn more about that, but I'm really enjoying the show. It's been a fun ride so far, and I can't wait to continue the journey. So let's get into that, guys. Season 1, Episode 11. I'm curious to see what this is all about. I really have no theories based off the title, but I'm excited, guys. The Secret Serum. Let's go.
What's our total so far, Sheila?
Hey, that's Daphne's mom.
$4.
No one wants the painting.
Anybody.
Anybody wants it. Oh. That's cool. It's like a... What was it?
The vampire.
So, vampire? That guy just said vampire, so...
Like Scooby-Doo. Now this is
he's by the pool, still has his ascot on.
Was haunted by a pool monster?
Like my new bikini?
That's not a bikini.
Like, I don't know. Are you wearing one? And with the sun reflecting off your pale, colorless skin? We can blind the monster.
A vampire ruined my auction last night.
Oh no! Shucks.
Guys,
mystery. Let's go.
It's too early. We can't.
It's not too early. You gotta split.
An amusement park or a terrifying cavern.
Where should we start?
Yeah, where should we start?
Pedicures.
What?
Where would you hide out? The clam
cavern. No, not food.
Right. Let's try the cemetery.
Here's the only thing you'll ever need to know about boys. They are stupid. If you're ever going
they are stupid. Straight to the point.
Stupid one, he will always. Boys look really cute in ascots.
Ascots. That's very specific.
Where's your mom going at this hour? Come on. What about our massages? Sorry, Velma. Duty before beauty.
The lady at the blood bank said they haven't seen a vampire tonight or any night.
Is that, I don't think that's blood.
Oh, no.
No.
I just snagged a red punch juice box and spilled some. I'm running out of ideas.
He made it worse.
What?
What?
Myers.
Fruit Myers?
That's genius.
She's a freak. She's the fastest mom alive. She speed walks every morning.
They're just chilling.
Like,
you know,
I do not
that's a
get
big
girls.
town. Wow.
Yeah, chicks. Nothing says I love you like 200 feet of parachute cord and a cargo net.
What?
Hey, Freddy, where do you get this stuff? Trap Mart. I'm a premier
Trap Mart?
of the frequent traveler.
How much money do you spend? I bet Velma or Daphne's gonna get caught in that. I bet.
With perfect marbling.
Exactly. I knew it. I knew they were gonna get caught.
Hit the lights.
Fred, what are you doing?
How to catch a vampire?
Get me out of here.
You look nice.
Yeah.
Save it.
Save it. Oh shit. Yeah, so the vampire is there. Oh Jesus. How is the vampire able to fly around? That's my question.
Why do we have to go vampire hunting?
It's behind you. Yep. Biting his neck? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the vampire hasn't
hero?
bit
Well,
anybody,
I've been better.
it seems.
What would a vampire want with a painting and an orchid?
It's not a real vampire, though, obviously. But I don't know.
We need some information on vampires.
Vampires?
Yes.
Oh, Sugar Plums, you've come to the right place.
Who's pushing the book on the other end? Or something.
Wow.
The answers you seek are inside.
Who the hell's talking?
There's nothing in any of
Who
these
was
books
fucking
about a
talking to
painting or an orchid.
Daphne? Who was that?
At a dead end. 4 essential ingredients, and eternal youth can be all yours. But
Eternal
this is just
youth?
a stupid Halloween prank.
Our vampire must be trying to make some youth juice. Good
Yeah.
work, Daphne.
But who would do that?
A Chateau LaRouche Crimson Ruby Rosé Bordeaux 1911. There's
What?
only one restaurant in town that has a wine list extensive and
Perfectly coiffed head about this. It's just a misunderstanding.
That's the vampire. The hell, the slide?
My
That's the
mom is not
vampire.
behind this.
My chicks and I would
My
like your
God.
finest table, but first we need to inspect.
No reservation.
No reservation.
table.
Exactly. Hmm.
Laka, I need to use your bathroom.
Me too. Wee wee.
Of course.
The whole wee-wee thing was weird as hell. Oh.
I really have to use the bathroom.
Then use it. Oh, never mind.
That she's an undead bloodsucker.
Fred.
Fred!
Maybe we're not a team anymore.
Well, the vampire's here.
Wine will be mine.
I think it's obvious who this is. It's her mom's friend. But anyways. How is she able to fly? Thank you for getting them in there, but... Oh.
One more ingredient, and I will have it.
It's a cool design. Whoa, that was cool. Yeah, the slide, it's obvious now. Yeah, but it was cool design of the vampire. The Devil's Eye. Of course, it's called the Devil's Eye.
So my last trap was a complete failure, but this one is so complicated, it's gotta work.
Something about this just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Exactly. Ooh, oh my god.
Finally, I will have the eternal youth of a vampire.
Of a vampire. That means you're not a vampire.
Friend.
Let me go. I've trained you all.
Mom, your vampiring is tearing this family apart. I'm going to have to stake you.
A steak. Oh my gosh. Exactly, not a vampire. See?
This is all your mother's fault. We're the
Why?
same age, but she's so beautiful. Just the skin of
Oh.
a teenager. That potion was going to make me young and beautiful forever.
So you made a vampire costume.
You see, in college, I majored in zoology and...
Use tape to pull back all your wrinkly sacks of, you know, age gracefully.
Age gracefully?
Mom!
Oh, even now she's stealing my moment.
See you guys, I guess.
Oh.
Better call it a night, so, trap you later.
Okay.
Listen, Velma.
Who's watching them? Is that the guy who tried to help earlier or something? They could have easily ended this episode on a happier note, but unfortunately the team is not in the best of places right now. And we end with that guy we saw a couple episodes prior giving this whole exposition about Mr. E and everything, and the reason why they hired that girl to come up with this fake story and everything to get to the point where they figure out about the original team, Mystery Incorporated, that's missing or something happened to them, Professor Pericles and all this stuff. He was watching them leave. Like, they made it to where Daphne left, then Fred left, and then Velma left, saying Norville to Shaggy, and they're all walking their separate ways, and he's watched through binoculars, and he backs into the shadows. I'm like, okay. I'm guessing what they're also saying is that guy was the guy who kept pushing the book out for Daphne to open it up to see the ingredients of this juice or some sort of drink or whatever that the vampire was trying to make. And there was actual, and I'm thinking, is that Mr. E? But no, I think it was that guy. The guy, whoever Mr. E is hired, he was the one I think that was speaking to Daphne in that one moment. Of course, he was gone by the time she looked around the bookcase. But I was like, yeah, someone keeps pushing that book, and then there was a voice. I'm like, okay, so it must, I think that was the guy. I think that's the implication, clearly. So, vampire. Wasn't expecting a vampire in this episode. Well, a vampire. But I think, first of all, the design was pretty cool. I like the purple eyes, whatever, in the design overall. They tried to give an explanation to Daphne's mom's friend. They said her name, but it doesn't really matter what her name was. Anyways, There's certain characters that are more important than others. I feel like this character is just like, yeah, it's just a woman who wanted to create a juice or some sort of drink, but it wasn't actually going to make her live forever. But they kind of explain how she was able to do all this acrobatic stuff and fly, but it really doesn't make too much sense unless like there was some sort of elastic or something in her cape or whatever that was attached to the costume that allows flight or allows some sort of movement, because she was flying around a lot. Didn't really, I mean, I think she said something about flying squirrels or something, so she has some sort of like background in that, so they tried to explain it, but it was too like over the top in terms of the flying and crawling on walls and everything, so I don't know. It is what it is. This show sometimes tries to explain things, other times much. We literally have a talking dog, we have a talking parrot, Professor Pericles. It's not exactly like we're in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is some fantastical elements that are not exactly explained to a T. So there's that. So, regardless, there's this painting, no one wants to buy it, and here comes the vampire. And throughout the episode, there's like these little moments between Daphne's mom, and this is the same woman that Daphne spoke about. I think it was episode 9, the Humongonauts. I believe that was the episode, because I'm trying to remember which episode it was. I believe it was the Humongonauts episode, where Daphne says about her mom, saying there's a couple times where they'll find her mom sleeping out in a treehouse, and they have to get people with authority to help her, and then she's away for a couple months in an asylum or something, and then she's fine. I don't know. I don't know what that's referring to, or something happens to her mom like that. I have no idea, but the way she talked about it like it was normal, I have no idea. But they're accusing her of being the vampire. But there's this woman who was standing there with her at the very beginning of the episode, and then there she was a little bit later, and then she does the little slide away with Daphne's mom. And then we see the vampire slide away in the wine cellar of this fancy restaurant. It's pretty obvious who it is. But her whole reasoning to become a vampire, because she even says, and I'll get to a thing that Velma says in a second, I thought that was really interesting. I didn't even think about this till this moment. But when she gets the ruby or the gem or whatever, the devil's eye, of course, it was switched out by Velma, but she's like, I'll finally become like a vampire or something to that effect. She's like, but you already are a vampire. No, obviously it's kind of revealing. We all know they're all costumes and everything, but they're definitely more intricate in this show for sure. But so Velma says something too before Daphne's mom shows up, of course, leading into that idea that she's the vampire. Of course she's not. But Velma says, why would a vampire need something that would make them like live forever? Don't vampires already do that? That's a good point, a good question, and it kind of breaks everything that this vampire is trying to do. Obviously, it's not really a vampire. Like, I think what would be really interesting is if the gang actually ran into something that they can't actually explain and there is no reveal at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, it truly is a ghost. It truly is a vampire. But then I think it would kind of break this continuity they've already kind of established in terms of like, we will allow a talking dog. We'll allow a talking parrot that's now evil or something now. But when it comes to like actual Humongonauts or a vampire here, or it comes to a ghost truck, it's all explained to an extent, you know, so it is what it is. So the team, as I mentioned in the review when I started it out, that the team's kind of not in the best of places, and it's really because of Velma and Shaggy, and they're not obviously on good terms because Shaggy said, let's just be friends. Obviously she hates that because she loves Shaggy. She actually loves him, and I think he loves her, but he made the choice because of Scooby, you know? So, and it's not because he wants to, because Scooby said, are you cheating on me at one point? I think it was the Humongonauts episode, because I believe that was the one I uploaded a couple of days ago as I'm recording this video. So I'm filming a little ahead. But, like, no, not cheating. It's a very different type of relationship between you, Scooby, and Shaggy versus Shaggy and Velma. It's a very different relationship. He's not making out with you, Scooby. That'd be very inappropriate, and I would probably question, I would question the show. But obviously, that's ridiculous. They would never do that. But, like, it's a very different thing, because he's making out with Velma, right? He has feelings for Velma in a ways you don't have feelings for a dog. It's very different. Of course, Scooby is not thinking like that. He's a dog to the extent he doesn't understand that. But ultimately, the team's not working the best. And I think that's why they showed them walking kind of separately at the end, where they kind of go their separate ways, because of things are not really great right now between Scooby and the gang. You know, Mystery Inc., Mystery Incorporated, like, they're just not the best of places right now. And it's to where, more so, Velma needs to find a way to work with Shaggy. So there's not, because they had to split up in the beginning of the episode. They never do that. They never split up at the beginning of an investigation, the mystery, an episode. They never do that. But they did because Velma didn't want to go with Shaggy. And so Shaggy and Scooby and Fred are driving around all these different places and everything. Fred even offers Shaggy some advice in terms of build a Velma trapper. Nothing says I love you. And then he goes to the whole spiel about like things you need to build a trap. Which, by the way, the trap in the museum at the end of the episode was so over the top. He even points out this trap is so convoluted and ridiculous, it has to work. Like, he says something like that. But it's like, no, and it actually doesn't to an extent. Scooby had to actually save it at the end of the day. So, yeah, the whole vampire thing, she wants to look younger, so she wanted to have this. Like, it wasn't going to make her younger or look younger. I don't think it would have, you know. Most of that stuff doesn't actually work. You age how you age. Age gracefully, yeah. You know, you could age horribly, you know, and just because Daphne's mom looks a certain way, eventually, like, looks go away. You know, personality is what is really what matters. Looks are, that's its own separate thing. So, yeah. So overall, this episode definitely was interesting for sure in regards to the guy at the end. He's the guy who's working for Mystery. He had help along with the investigation, and it seems based off how they all kind of walked away, especially Velma, and just how they've been kind of establishing Velma doesn't really want to be a part of Mystery Inc. because of Shaggy. I think there's going to be some tension until they can finally resolve it. And I don't know how they're going to resolve this. I don't know. No idea. The only theory I can think of is maybe Shaggy will finally come to a senses and be with Velma and try to make it Scooby understand the differences of the dynamics of their relationship and everything between my relationship with Velma is different than my relationship with you, Scooby. It's going to be different because it's a different kind of relationship. You're a dog. I don't know. And I say people love dogs to death. Okay. My wife loves our dog to death. I'm not a dog person, but it's a very different relationship with her and the dog versus her and me. Very different relationship. Scooby, of course, being a talking dog, it's kind of, you know, at least you could try to communicate with him. We'll see what happens. But hopefully they'll figure stuff out. They have to. I mean, Lucia, we have a good portion of season 1 to go through and season 2. So we still got a good chunk of this show left. So I hope they can figure this out fairly soon. I hope they don't drag this out for too long, but they may. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Because so far the storytelling has been pretty solid. So I can't complain too much if they decide to go that route because they've proven they can give us some good stories. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.